Good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another video and my ever-expanding library. You know what that means? I have more friends to show off. So, this is going to be my November book haul. And quite frankly, maybe my last book haul for the year and maybe for a while, because I gotta stop. So anyway, I got quite a few on Amazon. That's this stack right here. Then I got a couple from Barnes & Noble. So let's go ahead and get this thing started with my Amazon pickups. And in no particular order, I'm going to show off Blood and Brains by Judith Sonnet. And this is two novellas that she wrote in one collection. The first story is Bloodsuck, which is about like redneck vampires directing snuff films. Yeah. And Zombie Vomit Shit Show. That's the title of the second story. Just about a zombie outbreak in a small Missouri town. So this thing is going to be rough and extremely, extremely gory. So, vampires and zombies, let's go. But that was Blood and Brains. The next two I want to show off are by the same author. I have Night Shoot by David Sodergren, and I'm going to read the back of this. A group of desperate student filmmakers break into Crawford Manor for an unauthorized night shoot. They have no choice. Their lead actress has quit. They're out of time. They're out of money. They're out of luck. For Crawford Manor has a past that won't stay dead, and the crew are about to come face to face with the hideous secret that stalks the halls. Will anyone survive the night shoot? A delirious homage to the slasher movies of the 80s, Night Shoot delivers page after page of white-knuckle terror. So, basically what it describes, just a group of filmmakers who are being hunted one by one in a haunted house. So, I do have a couple more by David Sodergren. I definitely do want to check out this author next year. But that's the first book I got by him. The second one sounds a little bit more up my alley. Rotten Tommy. And this is about, it says, keep the door locked night and day. It's been 40 years since Becky Sharp's mother vanished without a trace. Becky has given up all hope of finding her until she makes a strange discovery that may hold the key to solving her mother's disappearance. 3 unmarked videotapes hidden in the walls of her childhood home. And as Becky watches the tape, she finds herself drawn into a horrific mystery far greater than she could possibly have imagined. For Becky has unwittingly summoned a long-forgotten nightmare, a creature that threatens the lives and sanity of all around her. Rotten Tommy has come to play, and nothing on earth can sate his diabolical bloodlust. A grisly and bizarre horror fever dream, Rotten Tommy is the latest disturbing shocker from David Sodergren, author of The Horror and Maggie's Grave. So this one definitely sounds horrifying. That is Rotten Tommy by David Sodergren. And moving on from there, the last 4 books I got off of Amazon are all splatter westerns. Yeah, I'm still on that trend. So, the first one is not part of the splatter western series, but it is a splatter western. This is The Ballad of Harley Heck by Stuart Bray. And this is an author that collaborates a lot with Jason Nickey. I mean, I got like 2 volumes of Hillbillies and Homicidal Maniacs, but this is his first novella that I have that he only wrote. So, our tale begins in the year 1869 with a young boy named Harley Heck. Hartley isn't like most boys his age, partly because he's a full-blown psychopath. After killing his ma and pa, Harley sets out to find his own way in the bowls of the Wild West. After being apprehended by a gang of bounty hunters, Harley must share his story, a story so chock full of senseless violence and revenge that his name will never be forgotten. And it even has a little warning there. Warning, this book contains strong graphic violence and language. Readers 18 plus recommended. So this thing is definitely going to be brutal. I mean, it just says as brutal can be. So that's The Ballad of Harley Heck. And now I got some splatter westerns. The first one here is Starving Zoe by C. Derek Miller. And I'm going to read the back. To most, 1865 was an eye-opening year. The American Civil War was officially over, and the soldiers fortunate enough to survive the bloody conflict returned home to collect the pieces of their former lives. To young Arizonan Robert Jack, the fateful desert homecoming marked the end of all he once knew. Revenge, however, dances between the fine lines of mortality and eternity. Love always finds a way. So, to me, this really tells me nothing about the story, but I guess it has something to do with like a zombie outbreak, I'm guessing. See what happens. This runs to 140. And of all the splatter western books that I've read so far, I really enjoyed them. So I'm definitely going to continue on with the splatter western series. But here's another one. Now, I've seen this next one like all over the place on Books of Horror. This is Hunger on the Chisholm Trail by Mike Ennenbach. And I'm going to read the back. The first cattle drive of the season leaves Texas for Abilene, Kansas along the Chisholm Trail. But unforeseen terrors lay hidden in the natural beauty of the land. In the heart of Indian Territory lies the sleepy town of Duncan, a friendly respite from the dusty land. But something lurks in the untamed West, a powerful creature that hunts to satiate its horrifying hunger. The land will run red with blood, and only Carl Beck stands a chance against the ancient evil. So this one kind of sounds a little bit like cosmic horror, but I've heard a lot of great things about this one. I even heard that this one might be one of the best ones in the series. So definitely can't wait for that one. Hunger on the Chisholm Trail. And the final splatter western that I got, kind of a newer one that actually came out like a couple months ago. Mayhem Sam by J.D. Graves. And it was released in this year. But anyway, I'm going to read the back of this. Finally, the legendary true story unfolds in all its gory detail. In 1867, a series of unfortunate events sees the teenage Samantha Gray marry the famous Captain Jakes. Once his bride is installed at Sweet Pine, her charming fairy tale honeymoon unravels with diabolical intensity. When Samantha discovers the captain's amorous interest in her younger sister, Sweet Pine becomes the young bride's prison. Now forced into a life of unrelenting servitude, Samantha plots her revenge. However, rumors of the captain's ill-gotten riches have drawn the attention of a ruthless gang of cutthroats, and this unwanted intrusion threatens to ruin all of Mrs. Jake's best-laid plans. Mayhem Sam is a rip-roaring tall tale of revenge that drags a coffin of stolen Confederate gold across the hellscape of Reconstruction, Texas, the red dirt plains of Oklahoma, and explodes at the top of a Colorado mountain. Mayhem Sam is the true story of Texas's tallest tale and its deepest, darkest legend. So, this one's on the longer side, but pretty self-explanatory, and this one sounds very, very good. This one runs to, 283. So nearly 300 pages. Mayhem Sam. And those are all the books I got on Amazon. The last 3 are from Barnes & Noble. The first one I want to show off is Run by Blake Crouch. Yeah, I actually got a Blake Crouch novel. Yippee me. But I'm going to read the back of this. No time to think, no time to ask why, only time to run. 5 days ago, the epidemic of rage began. 4 days ago, the rash of senseless murder swept the nation. 3 days ago, the president addressed the country and begged for peace, even as the murders increased tenfold. 2 days ago, the killers began to mobilize. 1 day ago, the power went out. And tonight, the killers are reading the names of those to be killed over the emergency broadcast system. Jake Clough, whatever, is listening over the battery-powered radio on his kitchen table in Albuquerque. And he just heard his name. People are coming to his house to kill him, his wife, his daughter, and his son. He has no idea what's happening or why, but the time for questions is long past. His only chance is to run, following an ordinary family on a desperate race through an America that's destroying itself. Run is a terrifying, brutally stripped-down thriller from master storyteller Blake Crouch. So, this one actually sounds really good and almost kind of reminds me of Civil War from earlier this year. I'm down for this. I really need to read some Blake Crouch. But that is Run. Final 2 are new releases. You Better Watch Out by James S. Murray and Darren Wehrmouth. This is a Christmas home invasion thriller. And this is definitely going to be on my TBR for next month, if I can get to it. But I'm going to read the flap, because of course I will. From international best-selling authors James S. Murray and Darren Wehrmouth comes a suspenseful serial killer thriller that will leave you wondering, is Christmas really the best time of the year? 48 hours until Christmas, Jessica Kane wakes up with blurred vision and ringing ears and in excruciating pain. The last thing she remembers is going for a run and something or someone hitting her on the head, leaving a gash and blood running down her face. It doesn't take Jessica long to realize she is trapped in an unknown deserted town with 5 other strangers who share similar stories of being attacked and stranded. Unsure why and how they got there, Jessica knows one thing for certain: she has to find a way out. That becomes nearly impossible when someone begins meticulously orchestrating the captives' deaths, one by one. And the only thing Jessica can do is watch the life leave their eyes. The fenced-in town is the killer's very own playground, and there's nowhere left to hide. She better watch out, because she could be next. So, when I heard that Merv was writing a Christmas thriller, of course I wanted to get this thing. Because the only other book that I ever read by these authors was Don't Move. And that was a very, very good book. So I definitely want to check this thing out and see how I like it. You better watch out. And finally, The Queen by Nick Cutter. And I know absolutely nothing about this, but same author as The Troop, which is one of my favorite novels of all time. And I need to get back into his work in the near future, but I'm going to read this. One sunny morning in June, Margaret Carpenter wakes up to find a new iPhone on her doorstep. She switches it on and is greeted by a text from her best friend, Charity Atwater. The problem is, Charity's been missing for over a month. Most people in town, even the police, think she's dead. Margaret and Charity have been lifelong friends. They share everything, know the most intimate details about each other, except for the destructive secret hidden from them both. A secret that will trigger a chain of events ending in tragedy, bloodshed, and death. And now Charity wants Margaret to know her story, the real story. In a narrative that takes place over one feverish day, Margaret follows a series of increasingly disquieting breadcrumbs as she forges deeper into the mystery of her best friend, a person she never truly knew at all. So, very vague on what this is about. So, apparently the missing girl is on the cover here, and there's something to do with like a bee or a hornet or something. I saw this and I wanted to give it a try at some point. But that is The Queen by Nick Cutter. And there you have it, folks. That's my November book haul. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know it's been a while since I gave you a proper book haul, but I guess I just need more friends. But later on tonight, I'm going to give you my dual review of Gladiator, my Wicked review, and tomorrow I'm going to go see Moana 2 and do a dual review on that tomorrow as well. Then I just got my wrap-ups. Then November is done. So that's all I got for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Adios. Peace.